If Mickey Barnes talks like this throughout the movie, how about I can give it a try? Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Studios here, and welcome back to another review. And today I'll do a review on Mickey 17. So Mickey 17 is the latest installment from Bong Joon-ho, the same director who gave us some films like Memories of Murder, Snowpiercer, Okja, The Host, Mother, and especially the Best Picture winning masterpiece, Parasite. And it came out in the year 2025, and it stars Robert Pattinson, Naomi Aki, Stephen Yeun, Mark Ruffalo, Toni Collette, Anna Maria Bartolome, Patsy Farron, etc. Alright, Holiday Granger too. Okay, I'll talk like this. I'll talk normally for the rest of the review now. And the film tells the story of Mickey Barnes, a regular person on Earth who wanted to open a bakery shop, but then realized that things that life is not worth living anymore on Earth. Applies to become an expendable just to get out of Earth and be able to enter the spaceship that will take people to a better planet. Um, yeah, so he becomes an expendable, and apparently he doesn't know anything about it. Despite pretending to know. So so basically, the premise of being an expendable in this world is that he has the ability to be printed again with a new copy of the same person who died previously. So like if copy what if the original person the original expendable dies, the printer will print a new copy of the expendable. And yes, and this printer has been the printing thing, the expendable printing thing has been very controversial. That it caused controversy and strict measures taken by the leader of the colony, Frank Marshall, a rejected politician who wants to get off Earth just to colonize another planet. And yeah, so he's taking strict measures about it because there was an instance where the printer has created multiples. Like multiples are basically two people of the same. And apparently multiples are illegal. If your Frank Marshall sees multiples, he will kill them. And so, as an expendable, the job of Mickey Barnes, as well as the rest of the expendable, is to investigate this planet where they find this creature, a bunch of creatures called the creepers. But what their goal really is to actually bring back a rock, this giant stone thingy that will bring fame to Frank Marshall, and so he can just showcase it on his show. But yeah, but one day, as Mickey 17, the 17th copy of Mickey was about to die. He apparently gets spared by the creepers. He doesn't die. But then the company who presumed that Mickey the 17th copy of Mickey was dead print an 18th copy of him, and then they both meet up with each other. They both fight, and but yeah, and as Mickey 17 discovers Mickey 18, he goes through this coming of age where he wants to find out exactly what kind of person he wants to be, and as the different kinds of Mickey, they're apparently kind of a different person. Yeah, Mickey 17 is the one who goes through this coming of age and asks you that questions: does who exactly does Mickey want to be? And then Frank Marshall apparently when one of the creepers boards the ship, yeah, Frank Marshall plots to kill all of the creepers. And so Mickey now needs to help the creepers. I know it sounds like a bad plot, a messy plot, but it's just me. The story is complicated, but I mean I did understand that. I understand the story, but yeah, it was just not the best summary you could think of. So, anyways, yeah, Mickey 17 was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I put it as an honorable mention in my best movies of 2000, my most anticipated movies of 2025 list. I will admit that that was a mistake on my part. I think that was something I actually regret doing because I think it deserved to be in my most anticipated movies of the year. But at the same time, I do understand why because there are other movies that I think are better. That I think I was more excited for, like Zootopia 2, of course, being my most anticipated movie of the year. And then you got films like Sinners, Wicked for Good, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four First Steps, Ballerina, the John Wick spin-off, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. All of these I was more excited for than Mickey 17. As Brave New World is questionable if I was actually anticipating that film more than this, but I actually knew that I actually went in Mickey 17 expecting this to be um to be currently my favorite movie of the year in comparison to the January and February movies. Yeah, I think that 2025 so far has been a decent year. So far, I mean, January and February were pretty solid months, but they weren't really, yeah, they weren't great. I'm not sure if 2025 will even top 2024, but at the very least, yeah, I mean, we're gonna get some we're highly promising movies, if later on this year, like and of course we got this film as a highly anticipated masterpiece, and then we're about to get films too, like next month Sinners, Thunderbolts, The Final Reckoning, Ballerina, and maybe F1. I'm not sure if that will be a masterpiece, but maybe Superman, The Fantastic Four First Steps, and many others. So I think all we'll see how 2025 will go, but yeah, not the best so far. It's all right. So I was hoping now there hasn't been a universally loved movie of the year so far. The highest rated movie of the year was actually Companion. Well, I guess Vegetables Foul if you count it as a 2025 movie, but yeah, I mean Companion is the most quote unquote loved movie of the year so far. But not everybody loved the Companion. There were some people who say the Companion is just mid at best. It's not that good, and so yeah. I wouldn't say Companion is a universally loved movie despite its extremely high rating. I mean, and let's be real here, it's Bong Joon Ho. Bong Joon Ho is one of those directors who can do no wrong. I mean, every single one of his movies are truly great, great to outstanding. Of course, you got Parasite, which I recently reviewed in preparation for Mickey 17, and I still love a Parasite. I stand by everything I said in a Parasite review. It deserves all the. And then there is also Snowpiercer, which is now my second favorite movie of 2013. I adore Snowpiercer. Sorry. I excuse me. I adore Snowpiercer even more than I did the first time. Or at least the last couple of times I watched it. And then you also got oh yeah, Okja, which grows on me the more I thought about it. And the host, and even Bong Joon Ho's weakest film to me, Hot Take Guys about Memories of Murder is the weakest Bong Joon Ho movie to me, but it's still a great film. I used to call Memories of Murder overrated, but now it's not overrated, even if it's still a tad bit overrated. But anyway, I don't want to get into detail now. Now let's focus on Mickey 17. Yeah, it's unfortunately that it sucks that Mickey 17 is getting the Tenet treatment. Like you know how reception for Tenet was in terms of a Christopher Nolan movie. That's basically what Mickey 17 is for Bong Joon-ho movies. This movie is getting divisive reviews. Some people praising this as another Bong Joon-ho masterpiece, but then you got those people who were actually quite underwhelmed by this one and would go as far they would go as far as calling this the weakest Bong Joon-ho movie. Some even saying it's Bong Joon-ho's first miss. And yeah, so this is basically the tenet of Bong Joon-ho films. Now, I have seen this movie twice before I get to my initial thoughts. I had to bring this up that as of now, I have seen this movie twice in theaters. I was going to review this last Thursday since I saw some last Wednesday. But the reason why I did not, the reason why I'm only reviewing Mickey 17 now is because I came to the realization that I need to rewatch this again. I had to give Mickey 17 a second viewing in order for me to review this one better because my previous review, because I will say that I had some vague thoughts. Like I couldn't really fully analyze it. And I don't want my reviews to be vague. Yeah, so I only review a movie after seeing it the first time if I'm able to explain things well without being vague. So on second viewing, yeah, I was able to pick up a lot more things. And so as for my thoughts on Mickey 17 on both viewings, I gotta say, this movie did not let me down at all. Bong Joon-ho does it once again. Yeah, this is my favorite film of the year so far. Like, it's no question. I wouldn't say that the other movies this year did not come close because Better Man and Captain America: Brave New World does come close to this one. But Mickey 17 is just a brilliant masterpiece. I absolutely um love it. And yeah, and I think this may go down as the most underrated Bong Joon-ho movie. And I thought Okja was going to be Bong Joon-ho's most underrated most underrated film, but I guess it's going to be this one. It certainly deserved a higher rating. Like this should get like a 90%, not 79%. Now, yes, this film is a lot similar to Okja. This isn't Bong Joon Ho isn't really this is not really a Parasite esque Bong Joon Ho movie. Let's get this right. But I would say this is more on the lines of Okja, and it's actually very similar to Okja with the conflict being dictators against creatures and the characters being over the top. And yeah, this made me love Okja even more. So yeah, now yes, I can see that this film isn't for everyone as the trailers did were mislead the trailers were misleading. It did mislead us. The trailers promoted this as a film with a huge spectacle, like a huge blockbuster esque spectacle with big action set pieces. But it wasn't that. There were only like two action scenes, two small action scenes in this one. Well, the final battle was huge. I'll get into that later. But the actual movie was a big budget art house film. Although art house appreciators will be highly entertained by this. But if you are a casual viewer who has never seen any art house movies, or at least don't understand artsy movies, you might not appreciate this as much. So I can see how it's not for everyone, but that doesn't mean a significantly lower rating than every single other Bong Joon-ho movies. That doesn't feel fair. This is hands down the funniest film Bong Joon-ho has ever made yet. The jokes were not only clever but also over the top in a good way. Each actor gives a performance that is very over the top and cartoony. Yet it doesn't take away the experience from the film. Usually, when it comes to these over the top expressions, I would that's something that's not for me. But Bong Joon Ho did this in a way where these actors still maybe laugh at it. I was actually laughing at their cartoony movement instead of just being annoyed by it. So that's how it should be. And Bong Joon-ho has not changed when it comes to the themes, the political messaging, and the social commentary. Um, I hear criticisms. I I know people have criticized Mickey 17 for being very repetitive, and they're saying that Bong Joon-ho's shtick of being very political and social comment and having these social commentaries in these films are getting old now. But I mean, it's Bong Joon-ho. What do you expect? That's just the way he is. I'd be shocked if he makes a movie that does not include a social commentary on political topics. In the case of this film, Bong Joon-ho shows that he is a leftist. Well, I'm personally a leftist too, by making the good characters leftist and the evil characters rightist. Um, and to put a cherry on top, the film's main villain, Kenneth Marshall, is a parody of Trump and a lot of left-wing dictators. The film even goes as far as making the supporters of Marshall wear a red cap, which is the same case as real life, where Trump supporters would wear a red cap to show their support of Trump. Yeah, Bong himself revealed that Marshall is a parody of more than just Trump, which is insane. And I know this one may be offensive to right wingers. I mean, that may sound like it, but this is a satire. This is a political satire. It's not trying to take itself seriously. It's not trying to be offensive to rightists. But I guess the rightists take this film too seriously, because I've actually seen reviews from critics who are clearly rightists actually get offended by this film, because apparently they think that it's offensive that they mock rightists and mock Trump especially. Yeah, but I mean, they don't know how to take satire, like, well, as if it's a satire. Yeah. And on top of the films of political dynasties, it also tackles themes of the misuse of technology with the printing of a copy of humans, so when they're dead, being problematic. The premise of the story is both simple and unique, but it's very complex of complex on execution. Aside from being a social commentary, the film surprisingly has a coming of age narrative, with Mickey trying to figure out what kind of life he wants. As each copy of Mickey is a completely different person. But it's both Mickey 1 and Mickey 17 who are both having this coming of age thingy. And yeah, Robert Pattinson gives his best performance yet, and every single actor in this film gives it their all with how much energy they have. Both Kay Katz and Nasha are tied as my favorite characters in the film. I mean, I love Nasha even more a second time, and sometimes it feels like Nasha is the main hero of the film. Now, by the way, I'm going to be giving out minor spoilers in this review. Yeah, I'm going to give out minor spoilers. So if you haven't seen this film yet, and you care enough about this movie, then you already know what I'm going to give, what rating I'm going to give at the end. I have no flaws with the film. I'll give it that. So yeah, where else? So yeah, anyways, now with the spoilers. Nasha has the best character arc of the film, where she stands up to Marshall. She stands up to what's right, and she stands up to what's right. And in the end, guys, when Marshall dies of explosion, Nasha becomes the new leader. As I think it is well deserved for Nasha to replace Marshall as the new leader. I did not see the coming, but it's well deserved because of how Nasha knows what's right. Nasha is basically the most left wing character in the film. he's the most left-wing character in the film, and Kay is my Kay Katz is my crush of the year so far. Well, surely I'll have other fictional crushes, but I think Kay, yeah, so far, yeah, it's my crush of the year. And I know you may be like, oh, Frozen, you only praise her just because of how hot she is. Yeah, she did not get it out screen time, but she's still a great character, even if you take away the fact that she's hot. She's actually a very like likable character. She was able to help Mickey 17 when Mickey was suffering and about to throw up and getting a bit sick. She did the accompany Mickey and actually admitted that she actually had a crush on Mickey. Yeah, I actually wanted Mickey 17 to be with Kay while Mickey 18 has Nasha. Yeah, I mean they can both share the two Mickeys. So yeah, and Maria Bartolome is just so good in this one. She's like this. She's an actress who mostly starred in foreign films. This is her first main Hollywood film, and she knocked it out of the park. I have seen the previous film that she started, The Count of Monte Cristo, and it is such a damn good movie. And what else? Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo. He gives his best performance since the MCU as this film's villain. He is such a hateable character. Like you really feel he's a villain you'd love to hate and want to see him get defeated. And I would say that he is the standout of the male characters in the film. Tony Collette and Steven Yeun also give terrific performances. Oh, and especially Tony Collette. Like I yeah, Tony Collette, her performance was absolutely disturbing. And I think she gave one of the best performances of the film. And especially this nightmare sequence where Tony Collette this nightmare sequence towards the end. Yeah, Tony Collette's performance really creeped me out. Yeah, she was creepy as shit, man. Yeah, yeah, if I were to pick which villain I like slightly better, I would say Tony Collette's character. But I would put both the Marshall couple as a tie if I were to do my top 5 favorite 17 characters list. Oh, and I love the creepers too. I gotta mention them. Their designs are so practical and in a way that the sound editors produce the sound, especially with the way that the sound editors produce the sound whenever the creepers make a noise. Oh my goodness. I mean, oh man, their noise. Jeebus, they're. Wow. This needs to not only get nominated for Best Sound at the Oscars 2026, but win too. When it comes to this film's Oscar chances, I don't think this is going to get nominated for Best Picture, sadly. But it deserves to get nominated for awards like Best Visual Effects, Best Production Design, and maybe Best Cinematography. Best Cinematography. The shots are absolutely gorgeous, and there were one close-up shots of. There was this one close-up shot in the film where Kenneth and his wife were. There's just one close-up shot of Kenneth and his wife. It was so creepy that it reminded me of The Substance, where Dennis Quaid's character in the film was looking directly at the camera. Yeah. I mean, of course, Steven Yeun is Steven Yeun. He's always great in everything. The score in this film was also great with the smooth piano music, although it's not one of the best aspects of the film, as it sounds very similar to the scores in other Bong Joon-ho movies. Certainly not a criticism. And yeah, this film had a big budget, and it certainly made great use of this budget without feeling wasted. You can tell that they did not use CGI on this film at all. So overall, Mickey 17 is far better than you think it is. It's Bong Joon-ho's most politically driven film yet, as it's a satire on dictators in the US and isn't afraid to be one-sided without offending the other side. It's also got a story that's simple with its premise yet complex in execution, a strong set of characters, and effective humor. Bong Joon-ho is one of those directors who could do no wrong, and this film proves it. Now, there's a slight chance that this won't make my top 10 favorite movies of the year at the end of the year, but surely I'll stand by loving this film and defending it from its criticisms. If I were to rank up Bong Joon-ho's movies, I have seen 7 Bong Joon-ho movies, so let's get my rating first. So with that said, guys, I'm going to give Mickey 17 an easy 5 stars out of 5, a flawless masterpiece movie. So yeah, I have seen 7 Bong Joon-ho movies in total, so here's how I would rank them. Number 7 is Memories of Murder, still a great movie despite it's the weakest one. Number 6 is Mother. Number 5 is The Host. Number 4 is Okja. Number 3 is Mickey 17. Number 2 is Parasite. And number 1 is number 2 is Snowpiercer, my bad. And number 1 is Parasite. So also for my review of Mickey 17, have you seen this film yet? If you haven't yet, are you interested in seeing this film? Or do you think that it's not going to be your cup of tea? And if you have seen this film, what are your thoughts on it? Did you love this film as much as I did? Would you agree that this is the best movie of the year so far? Or was this movie not for you? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my reviews on the SpongeBob movies, with the Plankton movie now out. And even if I've already seen the Plankton movie, that does not stop me from reviewing the SpongeBob movies. Specifically, the main trilogy. So yeah, bye guys.